A very good afternoon.
Those in support of the vote and proceeding number 0110 of Monday, 7th day of December 2020, be accepted as the correct proceeding of the said, they say aye. Against any? The ayes. Honorable Ikoro, Oya, very fast.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues. I remain Honorable Kinsley Obonna Ikoro, member representing Afikpo Northwest Constituency and Deputy Leader for State House of Assembly. Mr. Speaker, the bill is for the creation and opening of a polytechnic that will be state-owned in Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, if I start telling you the merits of that bill, it will be so numerous, but I will just mention but a few. Given our educational standards now in Ebonyi State, I think it is apt for the state to have its own state polytechnic to enable us groom and teach and educate our people in the right way. It will also help in the creation of jobs for those who graduated from our professionals in the educational sector. Mr. Speaker, due to want of time, I wouldn't want to bore us so much. I strongly believe on polytechnic that the merits and advantages to the state will be so much, and I urge all my colleagues to support this bill.
Thank you, my speaker and my reverend colleagues. My name is Ken Kandoma. I represent the Afikpo Southwest Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to yield my voice to the bill in question as read by my colleague Ikoro. Mr. Speaker, there's no community ever in history of mankind that has ever succeeded without systematically educating their own. A polytechnic of us will do just that. The advantages and benefits cannot be overflowed. I rise to second the motion as moved. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, before much contribution will be taken, I think ordinarily I wouldn't have been speaking this way, but having been in the field, and I know what it means for the state to start funding the polytechnic now, whereas our state universities are still having so much issue in terms of funding. And I think it's not necessary for us to start busy. I think it's better for us to have one institution that is very productive than having 10 institutions that cannot produce very productive and skillful graduates. It's quite unfortunate that someone will graduate, the discipline, the department or the course he read at the university, then the person will not give you even one job opportunity. I think what we should be talking about now is how to equip our university to be very productive and how to generate funds to fund the university very well than creating another institution and we'll be running that institution without funds. If that's the case, then it will create a serious issue. Seriously create a serious issue. So I'm urging distinguished colleagues to begging that this bill is very fantastic, but the outcome of it will not be for the elected to legislate on. The purpose of electing us to be here is to legislate for good governance according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and think working documents.
Days to the end of the year 2020, His Excellency the Governor is scheduled to the 21 budget proposal to the legislative arm of the state government. He has just been welcomed by the Speaker.
Yeah, distinguished colleagues, Leader of the House. The report has been accepted as a working document.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Having accepted the committee report on our abuse, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion that this House dissolve the Committee of the Whole House, enable Mr. Speaker assume as the Chairman of the Committee of the Whole House and consider the report of the
Leader, I think we should suspend from item number 7 down to item number 16, to do another state function.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move a motion that the committee report on item number 7 to 15 is step down to enable us to item number 17, considering the fact that we have a high-profile visitor in our midst. Let us step down those items and take item number 17. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder of the motion? Yes, Chukwumaigwe.
The Vice Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chukwumaigwe, representing of West Constituency, I rise to second the motion as already moved by the Leader of the House. I second.
Those in support that to step down item number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the next law state in say aye.
Aye.
Against say nay. The ayes have it. On this note, distinguished colleagues, we will do extraordinary thing for our leader, the governor of our state. We will give him a very standing ovation at this Shallow Chamber as a progressive governor of Ebonyi State. On this note, I urge all the honorable members to rise in honor of our progressive governor.
Standing ovation for His Excellency Governor of the state by members of the State House of Assembly 2021 budget proposal presentation to the House. This is the commencement of
Let me use this opportunity given to me to preside over this Hallowed Chamber, the Ebonyi State House of Assembly. Welcome our dear leader, the governor of Ebonyi State, the progressive governor, very tested and trusted leader of our dear state, extraordinary leader, the father of Paul, the leader of our dear state, the leader of our great city, the All Public Congress, the father of the fatherless, and the great leader of our dear nation, Igwe Ziroha one of Iji land, His Excellency Engineer Chikemba of Ebonyi State House of Assembly. You're welcome, sir. His Excellency, the former National Vice Chairman of our former party, Chief Austin Omahisi Congress, the acting chairman of All Progressive Congress, Chief Stanley Meya is also here, Secretary to the government of Ebonyi State is here. You are welcome. And the chairman founding Elders Forum of Ebonyi State, Chief Benoka. And let me especially welcome our dear mother, very reliable mother of the Ebonyi State, Chief Her Excellency Chief Catherine Obu, and the Chairman Local Government Service Commission, and other principal officers of government of Ebonyi State that are here. You're welcome. And let me welcome our distinguished colleagues, the former members of this hallowed chamber that are well seated in this hallowed chamber. You're welcome. If any time you want to talk, you have the liberty to step down the rules of this honorable house that allow you make a very effective contribution anytime you want to talk. My dear distinguished colleagues, the Deputy Speaker, the leader, the Deputy Leader, and the Deputy Chief Whip, distinguished honorable members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, it is always my sincerest pleasure on behalf of my dearest distinguished colleagues, the honorable members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, to welcome His Excellency, our dear leader, the Governor of Ebonyi State, our progressive Governor, and your entourage to this hallowed chamber, legislative board of Ebonyi State. God Almighty, in His graciousness, has continued to bestow on you His divine gift of good health of mind and body, sound spirit, and the enabling grace to situate Ebonyi State properly on the global scheme of affairs. You have never relented in your sincere quest for the development of our dear state, despite the very obvious crisis that greeted this year 2020. Therefore, I have chosen to term this year's budget a consolidation budget. Let me commend you very highly, my revered, distinguished, honorable members of this great assembly, for your individuals and collective efforts toward the performance of the current budget and turbulent year. This year, 2020, unveiled a lot of economic basis questions and posed new challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic and EndSARS protests, to be precise, disrupted the economic flows, but in your God-given wisdom, Your Excellency, you held us firmly and had marching on. Your Excellency, I must again praise your dexterity and that of your economic team for steadying the ship of our dear state, Ebonyi. Amidst the difficult time, I must thank all Ebonyians for working in synergy with the government to see us all through this peculiar year. In accordance with the provision of Section 121, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic, the financial year estimate of the revenue and expenditure of the state for the following year is represented as it guarantees adequate allocations of resources and overall economic responsibility of government. Going further, it is the basis for attaining economic stability and growth of our dear states. Your Excellency, dearest colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, you may wish to recall that the 2020 appropriation law, themed budget of growth consolidation, occasioned by COVID-19 crisis, this saw the introduction of the 2020 revised law precisely. It was a national response to the COVID-19 pandemic, as advised by the Ministry of National Planning and the Department of International Development, DFID. The movement in the nation's physical parameters of the approved 2020 and economic hub of the country, you are easy of the market. All time in agriculture, you have continued to exert positive attitude change to Ebonians to go back to farm and lift the economy of the state high. Your Excellency, all this and many more you have done despite our obvious mega resources. You have proven that you are a prudent manager of resources. If you achieve
Ebonyi State Barrister